So, this is Sasha.
Hi.
She's been my friend, like my longest friend that I have for sure. You're the only person who I'm still friends with that has known me, like as a teenager, as a kid. I was 12 when we met.
No, you'd been
11.
Yeah.
I was 11.
And I was 9.
You're 9. So we've been friends for 18 years, which is insane. So I just wanted to have a bit of a conversation with you because before COVID hit and all of this craziness, we were working out together.
Yeah.
And you have no experience working out.
No. Never worked out in a gym before.
And sadly, we only got to work out for 3 months together, but we actually accomplished a lot.
Yeah.
In 3 months. Like, it's crazy the difference between them. I'll be showing you guys your progress pictures because it's amazing.
Thanks.
Okay, so I have a few questions
Okay.
set up for you. Are you okay?
Just very nervous. But it's fine. It's cool. It's cool.
It's funny. At least we're not doing this live because then you would be like nervous.
More than I already am, yeah. Pretty much.
Okay, so first of all, since you've never worked out before, really, what made you decide to start working out?
I wanted to hang out with you more, honestly.
That's okay. Because yeah, I think our whole relationship, so Sasha actually didn't live in the same town as me. Her grandparents did. So we would see each other like summers, Christmas
winters,
holidays,
yeah.
spring break,
Yeah.
like forever. And then when we were adults, we lived in 2 different cities again, and then we kept on switching.
Yeah.
And I think we lived in the same city for like maybe a year or 2.
Yeah.
And then we were living
We lived
probably
together
for like a year.
bit.
Yeah, we lived together for a bit. I think when we were here, it would maybe be like a year. We were both living here when we started working out together, maybe
Yeah.
a couple of years.
I think 2.
Because you had just gone back to the States.
Yes, I just got back from the States, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, we were finally together again. So it was kind of a way to actually like hang out every week. So we'd work out like once or twice a week together.
Yeah.
And we got to see each other. Any other reasons you wanted to start working out?
No. I didn't think there was any point. I didn't want to be muscular. I hated my body and I didn't think that was going to change. It just, there was no point in working out in my mind.
Yeah, you're like, Alyssa likes working out.
I guess I wanted to get better at biking.
Yeah.
Because biking's a really big thing for me. I did long distance biking and I wanted to get better at it. So I guess that played a role a bit, but
Yeah.
that was only like a secondary. Like when you're like, why do you want to work out? I had to come up with a reason, and that was
Yeah.
my reason.
Yeah. I think it was a lot of fun. So I remember right at the beginning, you had a few requests of what you wanted, like your workout plans to be, what you wanted to accomplish. Do you remember what those were?
One was to not be sore,
That's my favorite.
to not gain muscle,
Yeah.
and to have abs.
So good. I love the not get sore one. That was my favorite.
I feel like it's a pretty big thing because like you hear everyone go to the gym like, oh, I'm so sore, I can't walk upstairs, and I just didn't want that. Like I didn't want my life to be impeded because I was hanging out with you.
Yeah. That's so funny. So do you remember what I told you?
You said getting sore depends on how you work out,
Yeah.
and then same with getting muscle. It was all about what you did and how you did it, not necessarily an automatic thing.
Yeah. Like, the sore one was interesting because especially when you're first starting out, you're going to get sore from doing things different than what your body's used to doing. So all I did to keep you from... By the way, you only got sore, like, I think once in the
And I
whole
was
3 months we
so
were working
mad.
out together.
I came in and I yelled at you. I was like, I couldn't go on my bike ride today.
I think that was probably after you really pushed yourself.
I think that's the day Dawson was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think what I told you is, like, pretty much what we did is we just didn't push you very hard. So we just did, like, mostly, like, working on form and technique and slowly adding on the weights.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything, like, super crazy. Like, we never did, like, 100 sit-ups in a row or anything stupid like that.
No. I think 12 was the most of anything we ever did.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty low rep ranges. We definitely focused on strength. It was all compound movements. So we didn't do any, like, isolation. It was all just, like, full body movements, strength movements, and then, yeah, just not too much of anything and not too heavy of anything. You never got sore. But you did build muscle.
Yes.
You definitely did, and you got stronger. 100%. Yeah, that was a fun one. And then what did I say about not wanting to get too muscular? You said depends on how you work out?
Yeah, it depends on how you work out.
Yeah. Pretty much. I said, it has to be your goal.
Yeah.
Pretty much. To get too muscular. It takes a lot of time.
I just always assumed everyone who went to the gym got really muscular because that's all you ever really see.
Yeah, you always associate, especially women, with like female bodybuilders.
Especially coming from you who was training for a bodybuilding competition. And I'm like, okay, so you go to the gym and you look like that and you're not going to train me to go to the gym, so what am I going to look like?
I think I had to remind you quite a few times, like, you're not going to look like me.
Yeah.
I want to look like this.
That was like a daily reminder.
Yeah. Like, don't worry, you're not going to look like this. Such a compliment, thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of dedication, a lot of time. You got to really eat right. You got to train very hard, like a lot harder than you have to just to like be healthy and like change your body. And it's always under your control. Like you can always tone it back if you're like, oof, I'm just looking too jacked. You can tone it back. But
yeah.
Really, like,
and that was a really big fear of mine too. Like I didn't want to look like I went to the gym. That wasn't like my goal.
Yeah, you just wanted to. Well, I guess we saw what happened, and you liked the results you were seeing. Yeah, which is really cool. And the other one you said is you wanted to see abs.
Yeah.
And what did I tell you about that?
You told me that was about recomposition.
Body recomposition.
Yes, body recomposition. And like moving getting rid of fat, because fat would be hiding the muscle, and it wasn't necessarily about building muscle, but about getting rid of the fat.
Yeah, and then that wasn't going to really be one of our focuses anyways.
No, but you snuck it in there at the end of every session for me.
That was funny. Yeah, she was determined to still do ab workouts, so I was like, sure. And I think I did let you know that it's like working out your abs isn't going to give you abs.
Yeah.
It's a matter of your body fat. And genetics plays a big role in it too. And I think at one point I did say, like, you're not going to have a six-pack. Like, that's not something that's, like, healthy for females. You'll see, like, a little bit of definition as you get leaner, which you did in your photos. It's cute. You got your, like, baby abs, which is, like, a good place to be for females. Yeah. You're not supposed to have, like, a super, like, carved six-pack.
Yeah.
This looks like... Yeah. Anyways. Nah, I'll keep it. Okay. Yeah, definitely body recomposition. Yeah. So building muscle mass and losing fat kind of at the same time. Especially since you're a beginner, like just starting working out, you're going to be able to do that. Because we didn't change your diet.
No.
Whatsoever.
I still ate a bag of chips tonight.
Yeah. No change in your diet. You actually ended up eating more, like, not on purpose.
No, I found myself being hungrier. Not necessarily craving sweets more, but like, knowing that I could eat the chips.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because when you're working out, your body's using more energy in the day. You're building muscle. Building muscle takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And as you can see in your photos, like you lost body fat, you got toned.
Yeah.
Which just means you're losing body fat, you're building muscle, even though you're eating more. And that wasn't something I told you to do. I think I told you to focus on getting in protein, but other than that, you didn't change your diet. Not intentionally, at least.
No.
So it's really cool to just see like how much progress you can make just by working out.
Yeah.
And we only worked out once or twice a week.
Max. And not even every week.
No. So like there was, I think, a week or two where you were sick. I'm pretty sure in the 3 months, you probably had like 3 weeks off total, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And I think most weeks ended up being 1 day a week, and some weeks were 2 days a week. Like, we didn't even work out all the time.
No, it was very bare minimum. I put in as little effort as I could.
Besides when you were at the gym. When you were at the gym, you put in a lot of effort. And I was even surprised with the results, too. Like, I knew that you could get results from only working out once or twice a week, but I was a bit surprised with, like, how quickly we saw results, too. Like, that was just really cool to see it actually happen.
Thank you.
In practice. And it was really cool. So, the next question I have here is, you complained to me, I think every time, that you hated working out. So why did you keep doing it if you hated it?
I honestly don't think I've ever hated the idea of something more than I did the idea of working out. Spend time with you, obviously, but the high. Yeah. It was the same high you get when you go for a long bike ride, and you do your first 40K bike ride of the season, and you're sitting there and you're like, I can't do this, I want to quit. And then you finish and you're like, I actually did that. I kicked ass. I did something I never thought I could. And the gym was the same thing. You would lift that first time you hit over 100 pounds you're lifting, and you're like, I just lifted my own body weight. And you're like, I used to not be able to carry 20-pound balls.
Yeah. It's just it's so interesting. So what did you hate about it then? Just
Probably,
that it was hard work?
no, the vulnerability.
Oh, interesting.
It had nothing to do with how hard it was to work. People are staring. It was the vulnerability of seeing somebody maybe drop a weight, or my form not being good, someone seeing me, because I am a small girl, and so I feel like there's always this preconception that I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And I think I didn't want to prove that right to anybody, and I didn't want anybody looking at me while I was doing it, because in my mind I wasn't doing it right or well enough, so somebody was going to have something to judge.
So interesting. So it's just like the not what you were doing, but just the vulnerability around it, having other people around. So do you think like if we would have worked out like in a home studio or something, that you would have enjoyed it a lot more?
I think parts of it, yeah. I mean, I still hated the fact that like I had to go to this thing that I didn't like doing.
Yeah.
Like it's just it was no different than when I was a competitive gymnast and I'd have to do what was that called?
Competitions?
No, not competitions.
Training? I don't know.
The day where you only work out and you don't actually work on skills. There's a name for it. But there's days where all you would do is like do chin-ups and pull-ups.
Oh,
and
like strength work.
And
Yeah.
splits, and like that's all you would do for a day.
Yeah.
For 4 hours, you'd sit there in the splits while somebody laid on your back to push you further and deeper into the splits, and you'd do chin-ups until you literally couldn't, and you'd fall in the pit. And it was conditioning. There we go, conditioning.
Okay.
And it was the same idea. It was doing this thing that you absolutely hated, but like knowing you had to do it, and you had to go, and you had to show up, and you had to be there. You couldn't just be, especially because I was like going with you. I was reliable and accountable to someone else. I couldn't not go, and I knew it would be hell when I was there.
So interesting. And like I know we only did it for 3 months, and then COVID hit and a bunch of stuff, and we haven't been able to do it since. But I know even like 6 months after, every time we hung out, you're like, I miss working out.
Yeah,
like,
and I
can
do.
we get back
I
to it?
really want to get back to the gym. Like you said, circumstances have happened, but I think I'll get back eventually. But it's just, I miss the confidence it gave me.
Yeah. That's just one of the coolest things I find about working out and lifting weights, especially like lifting heavy, is that you're not there trying to like get smaller and like burn as many calories as you can on the treadmill or whatever. Like you feel empowered and strong. Do you want to like touch on that a little bit? How it felt for you?
So I am a small one. Like there's no getting around that. I am a small person. And so all my life, people have always thought, oh, you can't do anything. You can't lift things. Like people would always offer help carry my groceries. And I always knew I could do it myself. And I always wanted to prove to people I could do it to myself. So for the first time in my life, I literally could do it myself. Like I was lifting weights that weighed as much, if not more than me. And that's something that no one expects from somebody my size. And all of a sudden I could do the thing. I could do the thing well too.
Yeah, you could. That was so cool because like you progressed really quickly, and you like once we kind of started lifting heavier, because at the beginning we did like the first couple workouts we literally just used like PVC pipe for everything just so you could learn the technique, and then we moved to the barbell, and then we slowly added weights. And I think after we started adding the weights, you were always determined to get PRs. Like every time you were like, I need to be stronger, I need to do this. And then one time we worked out with my boyfriend, and he was teasing you. He was being like, oh no, you can't lift that. And then I was like, maybe she could lift that. You're like, I'm freaking lifting this.
Yeah, that was the day I was sore after. That was
Yeah.
probably the hardest I've ever worked in a workout. And in the moment, I was just so pissed at your boyfriend for saying I couldn't do it. I was like, watch this. I'm going to.
It was amazing. But I think that's one of the reasons why you made progress so quickly, is because you did push yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't just like keep doing the same weight every time or
Except for when you
complain
told me
about
I had
lifting.
to.
Yeah, there were definitely a few times that I'm like, okay, wait, let's make sure your technique, we're gonna focus on your technique a little bit more, because you did learn very quickly with technique. Like, you have been an athlete, so you did kind of respond to what I was saying. You already did things pretty well, but there were definitely a few things we wanted to tweak, and I was like, okay, we're going to hold back on the heavy lifting so that we can tweak a few things here. But yeah, you listened to me and you trusted me, and you're very coachable, which I think is such an important thing for making progress, you know? Because you listened, you trusted me, and you did what I said, and yeah. So like, we took progress photos.
Yeah.
And we took them every month, because I didn't want to do them week to week because I knew we wouldn't see so many changes. But I mostly took the progress photos because I wanted you to see the changes in yourself. So tell me what that was like.
I the first couple weeks to months even, I didn't see changes, and I mean at the end I still didn't see them looking in the mirror. It wasn't until I looked back at the photo, like from the first photo we took to the last photo we took, that I really saw the difference, and I really realized my body had changed and I hadn't seen the results that I wanted to, which was interesting because I never saw them looking in the mirror. I never realized the changes were there, and to actually see that the work that I had been doing was paying off was interesting.
Yeah, and like there's a big difference in the photos.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think your weight changed at all.
No, I don't think it did either.
Yeah. So it was all like, yeah, you're building muscle and losing fat, but even the way you stood, like you stood with more confidence.
Yeah.
You looked miserable in the first picture, and in the last pictures you were actually like smiling.
I was miserable in that first photo. I hate photos being taken of me, let alone my whole body, let alone in a sports bra.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the most vulnerable moments of like my life.
And I think like without those, I don't think you would have had the same experience. I don't think you would have gained the confidence or seen the change in yourself.
No.
I think a lot of that pushed you to keep wanting to do it.
Yeah.
As well, seeing the changes and seeing the progress. Like, your posture was way better. You got a nice perky booty. You got a really nice shape going on, like with the kind of X frame. Because we, like your shoulders, we put some muscle mass there. We put some muscle mass on your lats, and yeah, it was. You got your like baby abs showing through. And then my favorite part was showing you your pictures.
Yeah.
And seeing this reaction, and seeing you actually being like proud of yourself and excited for it, because you were one of the people in my life who was, you know, a normal teenage girl who hated her body and had really low self-confidence, and you would call yourself fat, and I was bigger than you, and I had good self-confidence. I didn't care, but I was like, okay, so you're basically calling me a whale when you call yourself fat.
I remember that, yeah.
And like, I just didn't get it, because I was like, you are like such an amazing, beautiful woman. How can you not see this in yourself? So finally getting to the point where like you could actually see something in yourself that I saw in you, that made me so happy. So that was definitely one of my favorite parts, was seeing you gain confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now?
More confident. Like, I wore a bikini for the first time in like 10 years this year. I bought one actually.
Yeah.
It's not something I ever thought I'd do again, especially as I got older. I'm gonna be in my 30s soon, and
you're a bit of a ways behind.
I'm a bit of but I'm close to my 30s than I am to my early 20s.
I guess so.
And I definitely didn't think I'd put on a bikini for the first time at 27 years old.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I see a bit more of like my strength and my ability, and I feel a bit more confident. I think not having been able to go to the gym and not being able to do activities as I have been for the last year with my health issues and everything has really put a damper on things. But like, I still see the potential there.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know you're capable of now. And that was just 3 months. Like, it's insane what we would have done in 3 months. Like, imagine if you had kept going.
Yeah.
If, like, circumstances were different, and if you had still been doing it up to this day. And we'll be able to get to that.
Yeah.
Once things kind of level back out and we have the ability to do that, and your knee heals. But we're still going to do stuff to, like, work around that. Like, just because your knee needs to heal doesn't mean we can't do other things and work around that. Yeah, I'm super excited for you to get back doing that. Okay, so I think we got a little bit off track. I'm going to try to find where I was in my notes. I think we talked about a lot of really good things, though. So, so what did you think about what we actually did at the gym together?
Some of it I loved.
Pardon?
Some of it I loved. Squats were my favorite.
Squats are fun. You were really good at squats.
Yes, I really enjoyed squats. That was fun. I hated everything else.
Yeah. But you still did it. That was always the funniest thing, is you were just like, you hated everything, but you did it anyways. It was like your determination.
If I'm not the best at something, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
So I had to get the best at it because I was stuck doing it every week.
Yeah. It was so fun. And our workouts were super simple. We pretty much did like the same workouts. Like, I think we rotated between a few different movements, but it was mostly the same every week.
Yeah.
Because we always did full body workouts. It was always like some sort of squat, some sort of deadlift, a lunge, a push, a pull, and we'd always finish with abs for you.
Yep. And you always made me do mobility first.
Always.
Hated it.
Yep. We always did mobility first. And I think your knee was bothering you before.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think you ever felt it during things.
No,
I think we always
found.
Yeah. Which was really cool. We were just aware of it, but it never really came up and bothered you, which is good. But yeah, always start with mobility. I think our workouts were never more than an hour. Like, they were very simple, very basic, which I think is something that people often try to do way too complicated when they first get into working out.
Yeah.
And then you didn't have to think about anything. You were just like, okay, just tell me what to do and I'll do it.
I think that's the best part, is you got, like, I just got to zone out. You just tell me, like, this is what you have to do, and I zone out and I just do it.
Yeah. And then, like, towards the end, I was doing my bodybuilding prep, and I had to get my own workouts done. I couldn't just work out with you. So I would go off and do my own, and you would do your workouts. Like, you would keep doing it. I would come in and check in on you and make sure you were doing things right, which you generally were. So how was that, doing stuff on your own?
It sucked. I hated not having you there, just like as the buffer between me and other people. Mm-hmm. But there's that one really hot guy at the gym who would come work out in the same room, and that was nice.
Good motivator for you.
Yes, it was.
It's so funny. But you did really well, and I think, like, the more you did it, you got a little bit more confident with yourself. Yeah. I don't think we ever got to the point where you could just go to the gym and work out on your own.
Or even in the public room. No, I don't think I'm there yet.
That was fun. I was very proud of you for that. I think you suggested it too. You were like, you can go do your thing and I'll stay here. I was like, alright.
Yeah, because you kept wanting me to go into the other room. And I was like, it's not happening. I'll just stay here and work out myself.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I think we basically went through everything I wanted to go over there. Yeah. So, any final thoughts?
I'm excited to get back to the gym.
Yeah. I'm excited to work out with you again, and mostly just to see that confidence in you, which you have definitely, like, your confidence has gone up so much in the past couple of years. And just to see you be proud of yourself, see you walking around like, you got a hot body. Which, I mean, that's something that we can always walk around like.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that you've, put in the effort and you can see the results on your own body, which is really cool. And then, of course, it transfers to everything else in life. But, yeah, no, I'm really excited for you to get
I think
back into it.
The biggest difference for me was going from being told I was hot all the time to actually feeling it. And I'm excited to have that back.
Yeah. Right. Well, thank you for chatting with me. I think it'll be really good for some people to hear, from someone who literally, like, had no experience and then went into it with some guidance. Do you feel like you could ever do it on your own?
No.
Like, ever? How long do you think you'd need, like, working out with me to do it on your own?
Depends. Is it, like, in my own private gym, or is it at a public gym?
No, let's say in your own private gym.
Like, in my house?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I think once I know what to do, I think I'd be okay. I don't think I'd ever be able to go work out in a gym with other people.
No, I think you might get to that point. Who knows? But, yeah, I think, like, probably, like, another maybe 3 to 6 months together. I think you'd be pretty solid.
Thanks.
With what you were doing. And then be like, yeah, you can do it on your own. I'll let you. But we would still work out together every once in a while because it's just fun to work out with friends.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd ever be able to make up my own workouts.
Oh, I think you could.
Okay, I don't know if I'd ever want to.
I would teach you how.
I liked the being told what to do and just being able to like zone out and do it. That's what I like about biking is the zoning out. You don't have to think, you just do.
Yeah.
And so I think if I kept working out on my own, I'd still want that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I know a lot of people who are like that. Like, I prefer making my own workouts, but I know a lot of people are just like, just give me a workout plan, and I'll just do it. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Because it does take a lot of brain power to come up with workouts and to make sure they're well-rounded. And, you know, I've tried to make it easy with, like, certain guidelines you can follow, but, yeah, no, I get that part. Well, I'm excited to share this with people, and hopefully people can, yeah, I still can't believe how much progress you made so quickly. Like, it's amazing. Well, thank you for chatting.
Thank you for having me.